everybody, the pasta maker is here. Today I want to make fresh pasta dough. It's really simple and it's really fun process. There are a few key things that we need to know though before we start. To make pasta dough we use flours, eggs, a little bit of olive oil and salt. The ratio between the things and the quality of the ingredients makes a huge difference here. So in our case I'm going to use some all-purpose flour, semolina flour, eggs, I have 3 egg yolks here, and an extra egg yolk. The way that it works is very simple, the mechanics are very basic. For every 100 grams of flours that we use in a combination of semolina and all-purpose, we're going to use 1 egg. It's extremely important that we're going to have fresh, nice, organic eggs. Now, because you know, I live in New York and we don't really know the chickens that the eggs come from, so it's very important, you know, that we enhance that flavor with an extra egg yolk. That's why we have this extra egg yolk here. We're going to add it to the mix. So to start, it's very, very simple. The way it's going to work, we're going to put all these 3 together. Get the fork. Whisk this thing with a little bit of, like, you know, around 2 teaspoons of olive oil. Extra virgin, of course. You want to make sure this is nice. It's nicely blended. This would help your pasta from getting a very nice texture. So we're going to lightly get it up here. Not too much, just so it mixed nicely. We're not making an omelette here or anything like that. We're making pasta today. So this is pretty much it. This step is very, very simple. At this point, I'm going to open our food processor. I'm going to put the flour. Again, you know, I have a mix of semolina flour and all-purpose flour, an equal amount, 150 grams each. Even though it looks more because the all-purpose flour is lighter. So it takes 2 cups here. So like that. This is our all-purpose flour. This is our semolina flour. To that we are going to add a dash of salt. Just the salt in the pasta a little bit. You know, if you're making different types of pasta with different flavors, this is where you're going to add that in. If you add different herbs to your pasta dough, this is the time that you're going to mix it all together. And close the food processor, give it a pour so things start to mix there. Now I'm going to turn it on, take the top off, and slowly I'm going to start incorporating the egg right in. In small batches. Beginning to be a ball of the dough circling inside the food processor, being collected very nicely. You can imagine how long this will take you to do if you were doing the whole process by hand. Yeah, now I'm going to turn it off. You know, you probably couldn't hear anything I was saying because the food processor was working. But what I was saying is that this whole process used to take a long time. But now that we have machines like this food processor, it's actually extremely easy to do, and you saw it took less than a minute to get this really nice dough going here. And of course, you know, we're going to finish it by hand here on this board. I'm going to put some flour here. Probably want to put a little flour on your hand when you do that, just so it wouldn't stick as well. Don't be afraid, this is where the fun is of this process. So we take this thing out, you see it's a little bit sticky at this point. But when we're going to mix it with this thing, with the flour here, it's going to become less sticky. So you see, we're going to work on it for a few minutes now, just to stretch it a little bit so it gets enough air. And then, when we are done with that, this dough will make a very delicious pasta dough. You almost don't need anything to add to it. It's like that basic and simple. You know, a simple butter garlic sauce with some nutmeg and truffle would go a very long way with this dough. Of course, you know, you can go more fancy, less fancy. But you know, the egg, the richness of the eggs and the semolina flour mix very nice here. It's important to stretch it so the dough gets enough air. You know, and the more you do it, you see the dough get less and less sticky. The more you're going to work on it. Now, if you think that this is a hard work, you should think about what it would take you even to get to this stage of having a dough from just a flour and a few eggs on this board. It would have been much, much longer process, you know. We're only going to be working like, you know, 3 to 5 minutes here on this dough, which we don't really need to do that much because this food processor did all the work for us. So, you know, I know a lot of people say, you know, pasta is a traditional thing, you do it from scratch. I'm the pasta maker and I'm telling you, this is the best way to make pasta. This is the way that Italian grandmothers are making pasta these days, and it's absolutely delicious. So if you're looking to work hard, you know, that's your own thing, but if you're looking to make great pasta, that's my thing. So you see, this is pretty much it. Our dough is close to be done. We're going to try to just knock it down a little more, form it into a nice ball. We're going to cover it with a plastic wrap now, put it in a bowl for around 30 minutes. It's very important that you cover the bowl so the dough sits in the dark for around 30 minutes. And that's it, that's pretty much it. When in 30 minutes from now the dough is going to rise a little bit, and we're going to start making pasta. We're going to cut pasta out of it. That's it.